All right, let's walk through a Monday leg day. So I'm going to start out here with some prep work. Today we're doing some back squats as our primary lift. So I'm doing these staggered stance squats, just kind of get good bend through both the knee and the hip, and really try to sink straight down with an upright torso. This will get the knee, ankle, and hip working, getting us ready for our squats. I paired this with a single leg iso on the wall. Again, I like to just kind of start my warm-ups with some sort of long duration iso for the working tissues and joints I'm going to use. So single leg wall sits perfect. All my body weight's on the one leg with some wall support, which allows me to hold it for a little longer. I try to hold these for at least 45 to 60 seconds aside until I kind of mentally give up. Then I start to get more dynamic, increasing the speed. So I've got these leg swings. Not only do I want to aim to kick the leg up fast, I want to snap it back down quick. And then we got into a little linear hopping series. So starting out with the dowel, doing some boom booms here, 1, 2, 1, and then with the high knee switch, and then just walk it back. I'll typically always do 1 to 2 rounds of these with the walk back. I just find the walk back's enough rest. And I'm aiming to get a little more technical with each drill. So next up, we're just going rapid high knees, which again is just a little more speed involved in the movement. It's always good to incorporate some sort of skipping and hopping, I think, in warm-ups. You really notice how coordinated someone is when you try to get them to do different A skips, B skips, C skips. Luckily for me, learned it doing track in school and then kind of just always just kept doing it. So next we're moving to a simple A skip. Again, just working through that pattern because we are going to sprint today before the squat. So really want to get the heart rate up and get that speed component in my warm-up before jumping into an all-out sprint. Last one here, we've got the A skip, so then just intensifying the A skip with the power skip for height. So step and then try to jump as high as you can off that one leg as you swing the other leg through to a high knee. Next, we're outside. Today I'm doing some timed 10-yard fly-in, so I've got a 10-yard build and then 10-yard time. First set was like a 1-2-8, you see. So that's pretty good. I haven't really been doing the time stuff as of late, so it's good to get back into it. And then the water truck guy came, so I had to make my build in a little curve, so I think it's a little longer. And next set I got a 1.09, which for me right now I'm pretty happy with. Would love to obviously get this down under the ones. With a longer build maybe as we keep training. And last set was actually a little bit slower. So this is the first week of this new block, so I only did 4 working sprints, and then I'm heading in to do my lifts. So yeah, 1.3. So not my best, but keep working on that. Next, I go inside right into some squats. So did a warm-up set at 135. Again, I haven't been squatting as of late, been focusing more on deadlifts, so I'm really just building back up my squats here. This is 185 for 8, I believe. My personal best in the squats is a 405 single. It was super grindy. It was about 3 years ago when I was really focusing on more like powerlifting lifts. I was also a lot heavier, and lately I've been getting into endurance running for the past 2 years. So all my training now is more of a concurrent style with running, different types of activities, as you might notice from some of my other videos on the channel where I kind of go through a typical training week right now. But I will like to pair the squat with a intensive plyometric. So this training block, I'm doing a depth drop. I used to have really good hops. I used to just focus on dunking and squatting and lifting. But as I said, with the increased running I've been doing, I've kind of lost some of that springiness I've had. So looking to build it back up this summer. So these are just typical depth drops. I'm trying to keep a nice straight leg on the way up, but as you can see, sometimes I need a little bend to get up. Goal here is to get a couple sets at 225 with good range of motion. So this is my next set, doing a set of 5, and again, really trying to focus on that controlled eccentric into the bottom of my squat, and then strongly coming back out. It's going to take a while to build back up to what I would consider respectable numbers for myself. I'm currently weighing around a 170, 175, so I'd like to get back up into the 300s with ease on my squatting days. And then obviously paired it again with some hops. I've got the 20 and the 6, so I think it's a 26-inch height I'm jumping to, and I'm really trying to get off the floor as fast as I can, using that pre-activation before I hit the floor, and having good intent on slapping the floor and jumping up to the box. Depth drops, again, one of my favorite variations. You're getting a lot of skill involved with the eccentric falling, with the transition phase on the floor, and then exploding up to the box. So just smash out some depth jumps and then back to another set at 225. Just going to stay here today. It takes a while to build back up with weight on the bar. I think it'll happen quick week by week, but for me, just sticking at 225 and keeping it buttery and smooth was the goal today. So this is pretty happy with these sets. As you can see, I'm hitting good depth, good control, and feeling strong coming out of the pocket, which is always a nice feeling. So rack that up, and then from here, my next primary lift is going to be a hip hinge. I always like going like a knee dominant paired with a hip dominant movement, so I'm going heavy single leg RDLs. Now I know I can load a deadlift a lot more than holding the 65s, but doing the single leg really is going to challenge that three-dimensional area of the hip, and not only the adductors, hammies, and quads as well. So I love loading these up, not only challenging on the grip, but just a strong foundational movement, be able to do heavy single leg RDLs. So I haven't done these in a while, so again, just using the 65s, trying to get good range of motion, nice slow tempo on the way down, and then extending the hips forward on the way up. If you can get really good at single leg RDLs and be able to go a little heavier, then you will be strong as fuck, no doubt in my mind. It's one of those movements that is going to challenge a little bit of everything, and if you can perform it at a high level, you're going to see great results. Did 3 sets of those, and then for me, as I've been noting, just doing a lot of sprints and long endurance running, so the calves need to be in check. So I'm doing these up with 2, down with 1 over accentuated eccentrics. So I've got 155 on the belt squat here, which allows me to really load up the calf tissues the way I want. So I'm going up with 2 and then a nice slow eccentric on the single leg, trying to challenge the calf muscles to keep the ankle stable as I move a load through the tissues, which I really like. These seems to keep my Achilles from bugging up with all the contact sports I'm playing, running, soccer, and all the lifting and hopping. So seems to be working right now. So if you can set something up this like at your gym, I highly recommend it if you're running into calf or foot issues in your training. Another eccentric focused exercise to finish the workout. I'm doing these assisted Nordics. There's a lot of hate on Nordics, but I really find them super challenging, and at this point in the workout I wouldn't want to throw an RDL in or something comparable, and I don't really want to just do a hamstring curl because I don't find like that's enough stimulus for me. We don't have machines in the gym, so Nordics are a good option for me because I find it's hard enough and it pushes enough load through the tissue at a joint angle that's disadvantaged. So I really like using the Nordics. I'm not the best on the concentric part of the Nordic, but even just the eccentric slow lowering in that hip extended position really feels nice on my hammies. So I finished up the workout with some direct core work on the Swiss ball. I've really been liking these knee tucks with a slow concentric and slow eccentric. Also feels really good on the low back to get that rounding flexed position after a big day of squatting. So that is a workout Monday vlog for me. Thanks for walking through. I'm excited to keep building on this, and maybe I'll keep recording videos like this, kind of walk through training sessions. But this is how I like to start my week. Tuesday is usually an upper day, which maybe I'll get some recording in of that and share it up to the channel. So thanks for watching.